Welcome, citizens of Eindhoven. My name is Jean-Paul Cloos. I welcome you in this beautiful City Hall and renovated City Council, because I haven't been here for a couple of years and I'm flabbergasted with the beautiful furniture that is here today. I represent myself, and while I'm standing here, I represent myself what we call the City of Tomorrow. It's a concept in which we work together with government, local business, and science and our citizens on complex issues of society. But we need a government, obviously, that is willing to participate in these kind of things. 4 years ago, there was no information evening or anything for our new citizens coming from abroad, and who were suddenly confronted with an envelope from the government saying that you are allowed to vote. But what are you going to vote? What are you going to do? And that is quite complex if you are a newcomer here. You come here for work, and then suddenly you are invited to participate in a particular way. Well, we are going to introduce to you the different political parties here, but there is a history here in the Netherlands. For about 200 years ago, when we started with this type of democracy, it was all quite easy. There were really two parties. There was one party for the employees, the people, the workforce. That was called the left-wing parties. And then the right-wing parties would represent the employers. So you could vote, and if you voted for either one party or the other. So one party would win, and they would lead the government. But in the 70s, there was a change. There were different types of political interests starting in the Netherlands. And citizens could start voting on different types of political parties, which are not only left-wing and right-wing. There were different types of political streamings coming in, maybe from a religious point of view, maybe from people who wanted to defend the rights for the animals, maybe people wanting more green and defending the ecological reality. So it became more complex because there were more political parties. The amount of votes are still the same. So if you have 200 votes and you can split that in two parties, then you have maybe 50-50 and you have maybe 60-40 and you have one winner. But nowadays, today, you will see that we have in Eindhoven only 16 different political parties. 16. Which means that all these politicians, all these people who want to lead the government, they have to try to convince you that to get your vote. We have about 30,000 international people here, and if everybody would vote on the same political party, that political party would be probably leading even in Eindhoven. But it's never that case. There is a big spread. So what happens with your vote? You go to the place which is indicated on your envelope, and then you vote for the political party that has convinced you most in their story. But their story is always ambitious. It's always an ambition that they will have to try to get going in the negotiations. Once they have collected sufficient votes and they are in the possibility of sitting around the table, they will never, in this case with 16 political parties, have a majority. So to get to a majority, they will have to start negotiating with the other political parties, which means they have to do concessions. And these concessions mean that they will have to somehow get rid of certain of their particular ambitions and share these kind of things with the others. Then once they get to a coalition agreement, that is going to be leading for the next 4 years. And they have the possibility to put up the leadership positions, the aldermen, in our city. So your vote is very important, that you also carefully look at who you are going to support. It's not only because of who is going to lead the government, because these people here in this city council, they make important decisions about infrastructure, housing, and all the things that are going to be discussed today in the debate. but they also are the partners for social coalitions. Like, for instance, myself, I'm working with air quality and human health. We have a coalition. For me, it's very important, obviously, that we have the right partners every 4 years to work together on these important issues for us. So it's also to look at the political parties which are most inclined to work together with the social environment that we have here. We're not only dealing anymore with building up a city in a growth environment. We are now dealing with climate issues, refugees. We're dealing with a lot of complex issues that are not just referring to the city, but also our relationship with our surrounding. So that makes it extremely complex for the people who are sitting here and who are wanting to lead this government, but it makes it also complex for ourselves, because we ourselves are also part of that responsibility. Okay, so look at the way you put your votes, not only to delegate the responsibility to somebody else, but specifically to see who is going to be the right partners from a government point of view to address these complexities together, including yourself. Okay? 4 years ago, we established this debate together with Milagros, who was here with the South American community. I'm very happy that Eindhoven News has picked up this thing, because I think from an independence and an objective point of view, this is the organization which is perfectly capable and most suitable to do this for us. So I would like to introduce to you Beena, who is going to be leading this debate. Beena.